Wait until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man.
I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music. And you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, bro.
We not giving out turkeys and sneakers, we building schools. And besides that, if you got $1 million worth of jewelry you can put around your neck and you ain't building no schools, no hospitals, no banks, no supermarkets, no manufacturing, no distribution, I don't want to hear no excuses. We building institutions around here.
There was a brother, Dee-1, I seen it on Instagram, and he called out Meek Mills and he called out Rick Ross. And their responses to me, well, Rick Ross,
what were their responses? I saw the call out, I didn't see the responses.
Well, I take that back. Rick Ross's response to me.
He basically said what in response?
Jim Jones, you could do better, brother. I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Cause I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? When Carl got killed and I had to go to his funeral and read the eulogy and be part of the funeral, and I got back in my car, Sway, after the funeral, and I turned on my music and I realized I'm listening to music that's glorifying the same stuff that just happened to my best friend. It gave me chills, and I needed that moment. That was my come to Jesus moment of like, D, you got to do something different, brother, because you have a taste for this poison, but you're attracted to the poison. And rap is great. The rap game, hip hop industry is great at cooking up some delicious poison.
I watched Meek Mill go through so much shit in this industry, including going back and forth to jail numerous amounts of times because whatever was going on with was in Philly and things like that. And on top of that, he came back out on top like a champion and started to do things for others that can't afford to help themselves in these type of situations. How could you ever talk bad about people that's doing these type of things? Okay, yeah, our music is rough. Yeah, okay. We grew up in rough places. So when we talking about these rough places, we talking about things that we went through so you don't have to go through it.
Wait. Little man, whoever you is, until you feed the kids where you from for 20 years straight. Don't question Rose. Wait until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you sharing. Go viral Christmas time now. Don't be damn. Jim Jones just gave away goddamn 6 figures worth of clothes in his hood, and you a nigga who talking.
I was talking about your lyrical content, and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music. And you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, bro.
He basically said what in response?
You know, what he does for the community. Like
which was?
Give out turkeys,
that's not
sneakers.
Right.
Nah. I understand. And, you know, it was almost like, again, we're back to that. You're in a place, you're in a space, and you have the opportunity to at least say, you know what, that is what I was doing. But, brother, you know what, you're right. Because we got these kids out here, and they need music that can heal. They need music that can elevate their consciousness. But instead, He didn't do that. He just talked about what it is that he does for the community that is not really going to progress the community. So shout out to the brother Dee-1 for that, for waking up the consciousness of the music. And this conversation is big because from the frequency sound of the music, they're operating on a 440. They're on a lower chakra frequency. Like we need to be on 428 or 528 or 432 frequency, what Bob Marley and everybody played on.
They are on a low frequency, but remember, the relationship between the artist and the culture they represent or the community they represent is transactional. And what I mean to say by that is, if we want them to change their art, and we do, the community has to change its appetite for the type of art that it wants. If we go out here right now in Newark, right, and y'all have artists here, some conscious, some ghetto, and or non-progressive, if you would, okay, and you say, listen, y'all gonna change your art. The consumer, not the artist, the consumer will be ready to fight you. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Don't you be telling him not to rap like that. I love that music. That's my kind of music. So what I'm saying, to target the artists without targeting the community that they represent or the customers that consume it within their community is a recipe for the disaster. Change the appetite of the people, and the people will demand that the artists change the content of their music.
Right, and so that's what I mean. So this conversation, this needs to be a big conversation that I wish I could put together with some big people like yourself. And there's a big giant panel, and we decide. We have to decide. We have to make the decision because the consumer doesn't know what they want. A lot of times the consumer...
But they believe that they do.
But they believe that they do. But if that's all you have, like I put the first alkaline cafe in, and I choose to go into urban communities. I choose to go into the so-called hoods. I choose to go into these neighborhoods to feed my people top quality food, organic food by nature. The community didn't know that they needed that. When there's a chicken shack, poppy store, chicken shack, every 5 steps it's a chicken's liquor, chicken, you know. They didn't know they needed it until I put it there.
I agree with you.
So
experiences change appetites.
Right.
And what we have to do is we have to provide those experiences that will change the appetite. Now, getting back to the artists, like many other sectors of our society, we got to recognize something. The black community should have never allowed any of its cultural products to be owned, controlled, or exploited by non-African people. Sure. The minute hip-hop became controlled by European untouchables, and we know who the untouchables are, okay, once we start letting that group of people control our music, we were done. We were done. DJ Khaled, who's a Palestinian, won't even publicly express support for his Palestinian people because of how much control the untouchables have over him. You understand?
I'm Jewish, you're Palestinian.
Yes.
We're cousins.
Yeah.
You know, we go back to Isaac and Esau. We go back a long way. Why can't we get together?
I wish I had the answer, but I look at it in my eyes, I don't see why it's a problem because I'm sitting here with you right now.
No problem.
Me and you have no problem.
None.
I respect you, you respect me, and that's how life should be. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more, out of our hands. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I come here. You got to promote peace. It needs more people like me to say, yo, let's come together. Let's do some things. Let's show people where we can come together. And I think we doing that by being here. I think people do that every day by doing business. I think, a lot in America, people come together. Why can't that happen over there?
Are you bitter about the hostility between the two?
I have to be bitter at anything that's going to hurt my people. You know what I'm saying? I would never want my people to be hurt. So at the same time, it's like, all I can do is pray every day for peace.
You think we'll ever have a two-state in existence?
I think so. And the reason why I think so, because I got to have faith. I got to have hope. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I am. So I'm going to be positive about it and pray every day that it's going to be love.
So imagine us with far less loyalty to our people than he may have to his own. Imagine how far less willing we are to speak truth to power as well. We have to stop letting non-Africans control our cultural products. But herein lies the power. Remember we talked about that emasculated ego of the Negro? Black men have the most scarred ego and therefore they have the largest superficial ego. We are so thirsty for validation because we never had it, that we would rather have the fame than the fortune. And this is why you have so many famous black musicians, famous black artists, famous black inventors who are not doing well economically or are not as economically astute as they should be. You want to know why? I would have rather the world know my name than me be a billionaire and nobody knows who I am. One of the biggest differences between black money and white money would rather remain anonymous. Black money wants everybody to know its name. Rich people don't operate on ego. They operate on a very clandestine level. They will sit right next to you at McDonald's. You don't even know that's one of the richest men in the world. Let a black man be worth $1 trillion. He's going to drive around in the biggest, most expensive looking car with the biggest chain around his neck. You see that? We are financially immature as a people. We almost behave like overgrown infants and toddlers who have not been taught how to handle anything. And if you can't handle your money, you're damn sure not going to be able to handle power. And that's what we're supposed to be focused on. We need power, not the money. The only thing you can do with money is give it away. With power, you control behavior. Power is the ability to force someone who doesn't want to do what you need them to do it. Black people need power. All we got is money. And guess what? Our richest people have the least amount of power.
Yeah.
The richest people are the last one willing to lend their tongue to an issue that matters to blacks. Let's look at our billionaires. Puffy Combs, Kanye, Oprah, Jay-Z, Bob Johnson, Rihanna, Serena, Tiger. Almost none of them have done anything relevant for the black community. These are the richest people. You see this? Why haven't the richest blacks done anything for black people? Because power and money are seldom in the same hands when it comes to black people.
And it could be where their soul chapters are.
Well, they're also afraid.
They're afraid, and it could be where their particular soul chapters may not be in their destinies.
No one's destiny, very seldom is someone's destiny include being a sellout.
Oh, being
You ain't putting that on my ancestors.
No, not the sellout part. No, not that. This is my next question and point. No, not calling them sellouts. No, but
so you said
they're
it's
afraid.
an army.
I agree that they're afraid.
You said it's an army of coonish ancestors in heaven who send coons down to sabotage. You better stop.
I ain't say they sent them here.
But I tell you, we don't raise our children
to know who they are
with a code. The black community don't have no code. What's our code? White people got a code. Jews got a code. Mexicans got a code. Arabs have a code. Black people have no code. And guess what? Everybody else's code begins with the people in their culture. You know what our code begins with? Religion. We are the only people on earth who put religion over race. Arabs are Muslim, but don't no black person come before an Arab even if they're not Muslim. Do you feel me? Not every Israeli is a Jew, but guess what? Nobody who's not an Israeli is coming before them. You got Chinese who are Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, Seventh-day Adventists, but guess what? Nobody, even of my same religion, comes before a member of my race. One of the most destructive things religion did to the black community is it made us switch out our racial loyalty for religion.
Okay, so we're going to pick one more from the...
I'm going to read this one. I can read it?
Yep, the magical box.
Where is Kanye West?
I was hoping you picked that.
Confused is where he is. Kanye has a good heart. Kanye has a good heart. I believe Kanye West would get somebody to close off their back if they needed it. I think the problem with my brother Kanye, who I love, is he never properly grieved the loss of his mother, and he still needs to do that.
Agreed.
That's number one. I think a lot of his behavior is the outgrowth of the trauma of having never properly grieved his mother. Okay, that's number one. Also, because he is a billionaire, I don't think he has enough people around him who fully trust him. I think Kanye loves humanity, but I don't think he has necessarily a special love for black people. And the last thing about Kanye, he got to stop bunny hopping around. You divorced Kim, you married another white girl. What is wrong with you with all these white girls? You from Chicago where you dated nothing but black girls till you got famous. What is with all these white girls?
I know oftentimes he talks about black people not marrying outside of their race. And if you marry outside of your race, then, you know, if you bunny hopping, snow bunny hopping, I think he calls it, that you are not to be looked up to or celebrated, you know, in the black community. But that's Dr. Umar's commandments, you know. Are we following Dr. Umar's commandments, or are we following God's commandments? We got to ask ourselves that, you know. In an effort to want to be pro-black, we got to make sure that we are not more pro-black than we are pro-God. Because that pro-black stuff or that pro-white stuff for white people, that stuff be sounding good, and that stuff be like, yeah, I'm around a bunch of my people and we all saying this, yeah. But that stuff will have you out here doing stuff and saying stuff and subscribing to stuff that's not of God. That ain't nowhere in God's word. But y'all just saying this in the name of being pro-black or being, you know, pro-white or something like that.
So I just think Kanye is a little confused, but I love his heart, and I appreciate the fact that he spoke truth to power, even to the point of risking his billion-dollar enterprise.
Right,
when he told the truth about the European Jewish control of black music, no other artist was willing to do that. And even when they threatened to strip him of his money, he stood on his square. And that's why, even though he's a snow bunny hopper, and even though he's a little confused, Kanye West has a special place in my heart because he spoke truth to power, and the threat of loss of income did not shake him from his position. And for that, I gotta respect that, brother.
Right, because money is a frequency. You're gonna get that. It's just a frequency. You just use it to get along. It has.
And you know what, the reason people are addicted to money is they want abundance. Abundance is a spiritual quality. You see, they want abundance. So they think, I need money to get abundance. No, you don't. We've all been in situations at times where we were in tune with spirit, where the things we need came, whether we had the money or not. You see that? Right. So abundance, as you said, it is a spiritual frequency. Tap into the frequency of abundance. In the Yoruba tradition that I practice coming from Nigeria, there's a divinity who oversees abundance, and her name is Oshun. You probably heard of that. Absolutely. Oshun is the divinity of abundance. Tap into Oshun's energy, and the things that you need to fulfill your destiny will automatically come. If it is necessary in the fulfillment of destiny, it will come. Too often we're chasing things that have nothing to do with the fulfillment of destiny. Right. And that's why you got so many rich black people who are miserable as hell, because again, you're caught in the hypnosis of American capitalism, and you think the pursuit of money is what you're supposed to be about, but your true purpose on earth is something completely different.
We not giving out turkeys and sneakers, we building schools. And besides that, if you got a neck full of jewelry, if you got $1 million worth of jewelry around your neck, if you got $1 million worth of jewelry you can put around your neck, and you ain't building no schools, no hospitals, no banks, no supermarkets, no manufacturing, no distribution, I don't want to hear no excuses. We building institutions around here. We building institutions around here, so I don't want to hear no excuse. I don't want to hear no excuse. You got $1 million worth of jewelry and you ain't built no institutions. You got $1 million worth of jewelry, but you ain't built no institutions. I got a problem with that.